Kylie. Thank you for your coming today. Can you please tell me about yourself?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here. And yeah, so I would say my strength is teaching IT nerds or geeks uh, how to become confident communicators.
What is your
That's a good question. My weakness is not going on rants. So sometimes I speak too much, which I think is important for my students' listening skills, but at the same time, I think I should give them more practice time. So right now, I think I've improved on that, but it still could come down a bit. Meaning, I think at first it was like maybe 50-50, where I'm speaking half of the class and my students are speaking half. And now I think it's closer to what it should be, which is 80% my students, my clients speaking, practicing, and then only 20% me giving them feedback. So that's certainly something I can improve on. And how I'm improving on that is by doing just that. With my current clients, I give them more leadership roles in the class to come up here, give their presentations, so it's not all just me lecturing you. Because yes, that helps your listening skills, but I want to give my students more opportunity to practice because that's what they need. Thank you for your question.
I have one question, teacher.
Mhm.
What do you usually do when you expect?
Excellent question. Hmm. Hmm. I enjoy taking long drives, not to work, because that's stressful. But I enjoy taking my two dogs, Bobo and Lily, on a ride on my motorbike. I have my little dog in a baby bag, so she's very cute, and I have my other dog in the front, and we'll just drive around, cruising, and uh, I like to listen to my favorite podcast because I like politics. And so, but it's not stressful for me. It's the opposite of that. Like you said, great question. So if I'm stressed, I just leave the house, get my dogs, and we go for a nice cruise around the countryside. And I know you're saying countryside, we're in Saigon, but where I live is actually some good routes that you can go where there's actually like the rivers right there, right? You got nature, there's trees, and there's no traffic. So that just really helps clear my mind. And then when I go back to the project or the lesson plan, I have a much better ability to focus. Excellent question. Thank you. Yeah.
How much time do you spend with your family?
Not enough. If you ask my wife, not enough. But no, it's true. I think it's everything's a balance in life, and I think I should spend more time. But at the same time, if my wife's happy with the amount of family time I'm spending, then I'm happy. And right now, to be honest, I should spend more time. But I am, what do you call it? Spoiled. I'm spoiled, meaning my mother-in-law helps me out a lot with our baby. So, that's one of my goals is actually to spend more time with the family because actually it's really funny. Can I tell you a quick story? Is it okay? Quick story. I'll keep it short. So just the other day, in fact, I talked to my mom and we were talking about, okay, we want my baby, Coco, to be bilingual, right? Speak two languages, obviously Vietnamese and English. But here's the problem. And my mom, who's my biggest fan, and she's the best, she reminded me that right now, my baby spends a lot more time around Vietnamese than she does listening to or just around English. So, because she's at daycare, right? So Monday through Friday, most of the day, she's at daycare, which is great that we can afford it, right? But at daycare, what do you think they speak at daycare? Vietnamese. They speak Vietnamese, right? So in order to make it more like 50-50, I encourage my wife to speak English to our baby because I do not speak Vietnamese. So basically, I'm the only person that communicates with my baby in English. So right now it's like 80-20, but if we want her to become bilingual, it's got to come more down to 50-50. And my wife is lovely, so she said, that makes sense. That makes sense. And I said, thank you. I honestly thought it was going to be like more of an argument, but she's like, yeah, that makes sense. And she agreed. She's like, I will try to speak English to our baby. So I think that would really help out our goal of making her bilingual. And here's the thing, when you talk to, well, I'm married, when you talk to anyone, but especially women, the wife, you need to keep the goal in mind. So frame it, the conversation, in terms of the goal. So if I frame it in terms of, hey, you need to stop speaking Vietnamese and start speaking English. Okay, that's option one, right? Imagine her reaction to that. Not good. Okay, or option two, hey, babe, what is our goal? And she'll be like, well, for Coco to be bilingual. And I was like, okay, well, I think that in order to achieve that goal, we need to make it more balanced. Yeah, it's a great word, balanced. Yeah. So she agreed, and now I think we're going to improve the amount that she's surrounded by and listening to English. And I need her help with that because I'm here, I'm at work, and she is too. But excellent answer. Wow, didn't expect that. Thank you, Ms. Khan. Yes. Excellent question. I say answer. Anyways, you get my idea.
If you can choose a book to explain yourself, what would it be?
One word? One word. Great question. I would say charismatic. Because, and this is another thing I learned about, because I used to speak too much, but now I learn, like I said earlier, about teaching, it's really about listening. So the most charismatic person at the party, people want to be around them. It's almost like gravity. Like they're attracting everyone at the party. But it's not because they speak the most. It's not because they're like, hey, look at me, I'm rich. No, it's because they actually make the person they're talking to feel special. And how do you do that? You listen and you ask questions and then actually listen to the answer. So I've improved on that so much in the 7 years since I've been living here. So fantastic question. Thank you, team. What's up, Lots?
In your opinion, what are the most important English skills for CEO?
One more time.
In your opinion, what are the most important English skills for CEO? And why?
Great question, especially for this position. Yeah. I've never been asked that before. Let me think for a moment. I would say the most important skill for a CEO or executive or leader to have would be the ability to sell themselves, but also sell themselves in a way that aligns with the problem that the client is having, right? So in a lot of interviews, I'll just talk about myself. But in reality, like a designer, for example, like Miss Hong. You know, she should be asking a lot of questions to find out the client's vision for the website. Like I said, like I always say, how do you want the visitor to your website to feel? Right? That's a good question. So I think it'd be the ability to sell yourself, but framed around the problem that the client is having. So make sure you're very clear on what the problem is, and then you put yourself as the solution to that problem. That's the key. And it's not easy, but it all goes back to, once again, listening to what the client actually needs, and then can you help them or not? And I would also add to that, if you can help them, be honest. Because if you're just lying in the interview, for example, and saying, oh yeah, I'm the best web developer, I can make your website, but then they hire you, like, okay, they hire you and you can't deliver on your promise, well, guess what that does? That ruins your reputation. And that's all we have, right? So then the next interview, they'll be like, this guy, he didn't do what he said he could do. So make sure you can actually help them and then do it. In other words, under promise, over deliver. Once again, under promise, over deliver. That's how you get the raise. That's how you get the promotion. Yeah, outstanding question. Thank you, guys. One more, two more.
I want to ask you why you did the
That's a good question. I get that a lot. Well, I am an independent contractor. So, as you know, the market is always going up and down. So, for example, like right after COVID, the market was great. And I was able to work with a variety of different companies. So, the reason I leave is usually because the client or the company, they can't afford me. I'm just being honest. Not because I'm charging too much, but because the market is bad. They've had to lay off programmers, you know. So the last thing on the priorities is English teacher. I'm just being honest with you guys. You know, the number one is programmers, because you guys actually make the product. You guys are the most important. Me, I'm just like, if we have enough money, we'll hire one. But so it's up and down. So as far as a specific company, I would say that's why they usually end up not re-signing the contract, is because they can't afford it and they need to basically downsize in order to keep the business going. But right now, I think it's picking up, and all I'm doing is increasing my value by increasing my skills and experience. Can someone ask me that?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, that question for you. What's the estimated salary?
Yeah. So, have you had a teacher like me in the past?
Yeah, we have.
Can you give me an example of a salary that you paid this teacher?
So this is serious information, so I cannot share with you.
Okay. Well, based on my experience and the market right now, I would be happy with anywhere. So it's just to be clear, is this a full-time?
Yeah,
Full-time. Okay. So yeah, I would be happy with anywhere from 52 to 70 million VND in net. I want to be very clear about net.
Yes.
Okay. And I see the benefits here. They look fair. What do you think?
Okay, so I need to discuss with our team, also my boss, to be your exactly number. So let me have a deal for you, just a deal. So I suggest for how about you start in 50.
52. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about just 50?
So this is a full-time position, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess it would depend on the benefits, like how many holidays, how much paid leave do I have? Because let's be honest, teachers are usually paid by the hour. So, like, no human in the history can have classes for 8 hours a day. So I guess it would depend on, how many classes per day, how many students do I have, and what other responsibilities I have besides just teaching. So if you want me to do administrative work, then that would change it. But yeah, I think I'm flexible. We could talk about 50. Yeah. So you're offering 50
Yeah. Okay.
net.
Net salary.
Okay. That's a generous offer. I need to discuss with my family. So is it okay if I let you know in 2 days
Today.
via email?
Yeah. Into business.
2 business days. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, now's the weekend, so I'll let you know sometime on Monday.
Yes.
Is that
Yeah, exactly.
is that-
We will have the contact with your man.
sounds good? Yeah, I just need to talk to my family and consider, because I'm going from independent contractor to full time. So there's a lot of issues with, like you said, family time and full time. So it's a very generous offer, to be honest. And let me discuss, and I will let you know via email by the end of the day on Monday.
Yeah, that to me feel free to negotiation.
Excellent. Thank you for your offer. Cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Can you ask me ask me if I have any questions for you, team, please. Ask me if I have any questions for you.
Do you have any question for us?
Yeah. So how is this position? Let me rephrase that. Why are you hiring for this position right now? Okay, I'm not expecting you to have a good answer, but these are the okay. One more. Ask same question. Any questions for me?
Any question about us?
Yes, absolutely. So, what do you enjoy most about working here? Okay, you don't need to answer, but same thing. Can you get off your phone? It's rude. Why are you on your phone? Who are you texting? Oh, okay. I accept. That's fine. Huang was worse about that. Okay, that's fine. Can you ask me same question? Any questions?
Do you have any question for us?
Yeah, could you tell me a little bit about the company culture here? Okay, so those are just examples, right? And now I'm going to hit pause. Thank you guys so much for having me, and I look forward to adding value, instant value, to this company. And I'll let you know on Monday. Peace. Okay, cool.